Amid the sands of Pakistan and India lie the ruins of a forgotten world. Here, a public bath once echoed with ritual and cleansing. Now, only silence remains.
Streets once bustling with merchants now lie in desolation.
Families vanished, leaving behind no stories of their fate. The desert claimed their cities, swallowing them whole. Their script endures, but no one alive can read their words. Merchants once thrived here, their voices now replaced by silence. How could a civilization rivaling Egypt and Mesopotamia vanish without a trace of kings or wars? Along the Indus River, fertile soils gave birth to one of humanity's first urban worlds. In Mehergar, small farming villages laid the foundation of the Indus Valley Civilization. Here they planted wheat, barley, and the earliest cotton ever grown. The Indus River was a lifeline, bringing water, trade routes, and fertile silt. Domesticated cattle, goats, and water buffalo became central to their survival. Villagers shaped copper and beads, beginning a tradition of craft that would last centuries. From tiny hamlets, villages spread across the Indus floodplain. Trade caravans carried grain and ornaments from village to village. They wove cotton cloth, the earliest fabric of its kind in the world. Boats carried goods along the Indus, linking scattered communities.
Straight streets and brick homes marked the dawn of urban planning.
Wells brought water into every courtyard, sustaining urban life. Villages grew into towns, towns into the first great cities. Mohenjo-Daro rose from the plain, built brick by brick. Here emerged one of the world's first planned cities. Together, Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro became the twin hearts of the Indus Valley Civilization. The Indus cities were laid out with a precision that rivals modern planning. Beneath their streets ran the world's first complex drainage system.
Almost every home had its own well, a luxury in the ancient world.
Homes of baked brick rose in rows, sturdy against time and weather. Inside, families cooked, crafted, and raised children in peace. Markets overflowed with beads of carnelian, cotton cloth, and seals carved with animals. Red carnelian stones, polished to brilliance, adorned the wealthy. They traded in cotton, the earliest cloth woven by human hands. Carved seals bore animals and symbols, marking trade and identity. Life flowed peacefully, streets filled with families, not soldiers.
Children played with clay toys, a glimpse of ordinary joy.
Without kings or armies, communities governed themselves. Specialized craftsmen thrived, each skill passing from father to son. Their pottery was simple yet refined, made with skilled hands. Order and equality seemed to guide their way of life. Archaeologists found tools and ornaments, but almost no weapons.
Public courtyards gave neighbors a place to share and gather.
Daily life was marked not by war, but by harmony. Granaries stored harvests, ensuring stability for thousands.
Unlike other civilizations, theirs showed little sign of armies or rulers.
Homes were similar in size, suggesting an unusual equality.
Water wells became centers of daily social life.
Evenings ended not in fear of attack, but in calm reflection. The Indus Valley shone as a city of peace, order, and quiet prosperity. The wealth of the Indus grew from its fields of wheat and barley. Here grew the world's first cotton, spun into soft white cloth. Grain was ground into flour, sustaining families and trade. Ingenious irrigation turned floods into life-giving harvests. The river carried their goods from village to city, city to port. Flat-bottomed boats sailed the Indus, bearing crops and crafts. Seals recorded identity and ensured trust in distant trade. Each mark carried meaning, yet their script remains unreadable. At Lothal, seaports linked the Indus to the distant world.
Their ships reached Mesopotamia, Oman, and distant Persia.
Indus goods flowed westward, returning with silver and lapis lazuli. Overland caravans carried surplus grain deep into Asia. Skilled artisans transformed raw stone into dazzling jewelry. Pottery, both practical and decorative, filled Indus trail routes. Tiny clay figurines reflected daily life and sacred animals. Shells from distant coasts became bracelets and ornaments. Copper tools and ornaments spread through the Indus and beyond.
Stone weights ensured fairness in every exchange.
Harappa's markets pulsed with energy, fueled by craft and trade. The Indus Valley stood at the center of a vast network of trade. Tiny fertility figurines reveal a culture devoted to life and renewal. Many believe these figures symbolized a mother goddess of fertility. The famous Pashupati seal depicts a horned yogi linked to later Shiva. Mountains. Meditation and ritual hinted at a deep spiritual life. The bull, powerful and enduring, became a sacred symbol of strength. Elephants, too, walked their world, symbols of wisdom and power.
Tigers embodied both danger and divinity, etched onto Indus seals.
Animals sacred to their faith lived on in carved symbols. The famous dancing girl statue reveals grace and artistry in metal.
Beads and amulets served not just beauty, but protection. Offerings of flowers and grain honored gods of fertility and life.
Religion in the Indus was communal, practiced in open spaces.
Their script covered seals and tablets, but remains unread today.
Indus symbols are the longest-standing undeciphered script on Earth. Seals were more than trade, they carried sacred meaning too.
Animals sacred to them stood side by side in harmony.
Bronze bowls with sacred engravings blended art and ritual.
Sacred jewelry blurred the line between devotion and adornment. Even today, their words resist our attempts to understand them.
Faith, art, and script remain their silent legacy to the world. Around 1900 BC, the climate began to shift, drying the fertile plains. The great Saraswati River, once life-giving, slowly disappeared.
Harvests shrank, leaving families struggling to survive.
Some years brought devastating floods, drowning entire streets. Houses crumbled as maintenance faltered and cities weakened. Workshops fell silent, their crafts abandoned.
Trade with Mesopotamia and Persia declined, leaving ports idle.
Markets that once thrived now stood silent.
People began to leave, seeking food and water elsewhere. Even the wells ran dry, leaving families without lifelines.
Streets once full of life fell silent and overgrown.
Granaries stood empty, their abundance gone. No great war destroyed them, only time and change.
Even their rituals faded, altars left in ruins.
The Great Bath stood dry, its waters gone forever. Trade caravans dwindled, carrying little but memories. Children's toys lay forgotten, their laughter gone. The desert advanced, burying the cities beneath shifting sands.
Harappa, once thriving, now lay abandoned.
Mohenjo-Daro, too, fell into silence and decay. Its people vanished into history, leaving little trace. They left behind no epic tales, no king's decrees. Only their walls echo, whispering of lives once lived. And so, one of the world's greatest civilizations faded into dust. In Hinduism, Echoes of the Indus live on in gods and rituals.
The sacred bull, once seen on seals, became Shiva's eternal companion.
India's cities still mirror the grid once pioneered in the Indus.
Their drainage systems remain unmatched in ingenuity for millennia.
Even in ruins, their cities inspire awe at their design.
Sacred animals of the Indus live on in Hindu art and myth. Their legacy showed that true strength lay in community, not kings. Artisans still echo Indus skill, threading beads as their ancestors did. Indus artifacts now inspire the world from museum halls. Archaeologists marvel at the sophistication hidden beneath the dust. Generations learn that their roots reach back to the Indus. Even today, urban engineers owe debts to Indus ingenuity. Their example proved that civilization can thrive without constant war. Pilgrims honor the ruins as sacred ground of their ancestors. Symbols of the Indus endure, even if their meaning is lost. The Indus legacy lives on, in faith, in cities, and in the spirit of community.